All right, so who here wants to have better results? Take two. All right, well, the richest man in the world, right? $78.9 billion is his net worth. Bill Gates said, I am results-oriented. All right? And again, so that's what these trainings are all going to be all about, being efficient and effective and getting the best possible result, right, for yourself and for your client. Okay, first and foremost, if you're in sales, it's always about you serving the person to help them accomplish their goals. You're going to remove any blocks that they have emotionally, mentally, whatever it may be, for them to become the happier, more successful version of themselves. And I'm pretty excited for this training because this is going to be something that's really, really good. A lot of people don't do this, and this is why they're mediocre in salesmanship in general, right, or persuasion. Okay, so just raise your hand if you would like to be a mind reader of your prospects. Okay, kind of like a crystal ball. Right? You're able to actually say something to them that's meaningful in the first few seconds. Right? It's called a pattern interrupt. Right? If, again, they have all this chatter going on and this person, this email, this going on, this commercial, this talking head, whatever it may be, you have to separate yourself from the crowd and give them something of value as soon as possible. And that's what we're going to do here in this training. So that's the promise and the premise here of this training is for you to psychologically understand your prospect and turn more prospects into clients, meaning they invest with you for your product or service because it solves the problem that they're seeking that they haven't been able to solve up to that point in time, or at least not the level that they really wanted to. Okay? So essentially what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to attract the right customer to you by giving them the right message that they're attracted to. Okay, so a few things I want to go over here. Warren Buffett, the second richest man in the world, said we have the responsibility to see individuals not as they are, but rather as they can become. Some people have different philosophies of, they kind of will start with no, like this person's not good enough for my product, and they start from the no. I always start from the yes. I agree with Brian Tracy with this, is that you always look at the person as far as their potential and what they can become. Okay, and so I want you to just think about it. I'm going to read it again. So we have the responsibility to see individuals not as they are, but rather as they can become. Okay, so again, I'll read this for Boogie the third time, right? The mother of learning is repetition, so we'll go over this again. It says that we have the responsibility to see individuals not as they are, but rather as they can become. Harvey Mackay, because he's a best-selling author, he said, if you wish others to believe in you, you must first convince them that you believe in them. Okay, so I'm going to actually just pick on two people. Rob, if you'll go first, and then Cleve. Because they've worked with me both. A time that you were struggling financially, right, or just in sales, or even when you first started with me, I'll let you kind of pick, where the timeline is. But how did I help you start producing again? What are some things that I did, or you remember that I did? And then the same question for you.
I shared this with my team yesterday. It just was been here for a few months, and you were kind of coaching me and helping me get the process down, and I was just kind of half in, half out. And you said, what are you doing outside of work? And I said, well, I'm, dabbling in this, dabbling in that. You really made it a point to tell me that it's critical to study outside of work, your craft. And as soon as I started doing that, my sales started escalating, and your one-on-one attention, and quite frankly, your believing in me, gave me the confidence to become a consistent salesperson.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that. And I gave you a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
And all the credit goes to you because you took it, right? And you actually did something with it. And that's again. So basically, you proved me right and you proved yourself right. So that's awesome. Okay, great. What about you, Cleve?
Well, and Rob mentioned this is that you cared. You actually spent the time to listen to what I was doing, to pay attention, just a couple of, there wasn't much in the way of change. It was just, you actually made it a point to show that you actually cared in the results that I was getting.
Perfect.
And that made a huge difference, in fact, obviously.
Yeah. Let's give it up for these two guys for sharing that. We appreciate it. All right, so let's get into the actual training here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an avatar Okay, and what I mean by that is we're going to take a look, and this can be, it doesn't matter if you're selling tires, life insurance, multi-level marketing, it doesn't matter. This will go for any product or service that you are selling and providing for somebody else to get a better result. Okay, now obviously we're gonna go within the realms of what we do here, personal development, law of attraction, those type of things. Okay, so let me share with you. There was a advertising giant, Leo Burnett, and he's the one that did Tony Triton knows. I can see his not in his head there, but Tony the Tiger, Chicken of the Sea, Charlie Tuna, the Marlboro Man, Allstate, you're in good hands. So it's that guy. And he said, if you can't turn yourself into your customer, you probably shouldn't be in ad writing business at all. Right? And so it's kind of the thing of walking in somebody else's shoes a little bit, right? Understanding exactly what they're dealing with. So by the time we're done with this training, you guys are going to be very clear that if you picked up the phone off of one of the leads you're calling on, and if you just said the stuff that we're going to talk about here, they're going to resonate with it. And you're going to have a great captive audience there because you're bringing something to value in their life just by the words that you're saying, okay? So this is the first thing that we're going to do here. Well, actually, we'll get into the avatar, but I want to share something with you, just like in real life, how this had happened and knowing your avatar. So I was invited out to go speak to this Joe Polish group. It's a 25K group. And so you have to pay $25,000 a year to go out there. You have Richard Branson's part of that. You have Brendan Burchard's part of that. Brian Tracy. And, a lot of big name guys that are very, very successful in what they do in their arena. And I was invited to go out there and speak. And so I went out there and met everyone, and obviously they're going to have me speak that day. And then Joe Polish comes up to me. He's like, actually, I'm going to have you wait till tomorrow because I got Brian Tracy coming in, and I want him to be here and actually listen to this. And if you guys don't know who Brian Tracy is, you should. I'll tell you, he's just kind of one of my idols that, thanks, Penny. Get that fly. That one of my idols that, again, I got the psychology of selling a long time ago. And anyway, it's just really cool honor. So actually, I wasn't too nervous. And then when he said that, then I got nervous. I'm like, I got to do it in front of him. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so the next day came. And so, again, knowing your avatar. Okay, all these guys, they're business owners. They all have some kind of front-end offer, right? But not all of them have coaching. Some do, some don't. Okay, or they're not getting the results that they want, right? So they come to this group, and basically what Joe Polish told me, this has to be an idea that you share with them that's worth $250,000 in their pocket over the next year. I'm like, okay, that's pretty tall order to fulfill, right? I felt pretty confident because, again, when there was a time when I was running the sales, and we did $3.7 million in 1 week, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is definitely an idea that's going to help these people. So this is what I called my my presentation. So I had it up on the board, and it says how to turn $97 into $9,700 with this 8-letter word. Did I have their attention? Absolutely. The 8-letter word is coaching. Okay, and I won't bore you with the details, but I'll tell you, it was pretty surreal because I'm sitting there and all these people, these big hitters, including Brian Tracy, I'm getting him to raise his hand, I'm getting him to nod, to nod his head and totally get into it. And so I proceeded to explain kind of the process, what we do. Now, there's kind of an etiquette thing when you're done. So there was about 25 guys in there. And how this etiquette works is you will fill out a little card and basically give all your contact information and go over and just kind of slide it in front of the person and, hey, I want to talk to you more about this. And it was really cool where we had some, including Brian Tracy, come up to me. And I don't have the pictures or anything like that. I was going to show some pictures of me and him just over in the corner talking, and it was really cool. And just as a side note, there's a lot of gurus that I've been able to meet and interact with, and they're all all cool. They're good at what they do, but not all of them really live what they teach at the level, at least when I interacted with them. And I'll tell you, Brian Tracy, everything and more. It's amazing. Talking with them and just picking his brain and talking with them. So anyway, that's how I used the training you're going to do, just in that setting itself. That's why, what I do on the phone, right? And what I train my guys to do, okay? So first thing that I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you just write a little box here. We're going to do this a few times. This is what I call a brain dump. Okay, and so basically we're just going to actually fill out some things here, and at the end we'll put it all together. So the first thing And you guys can throw out I'll have you kind of write, so just the newer people are here so you can help them kind of get their brain started. The first question that we want to answer is, what words or beliefs will they resonate with? Your avatar. Law of attraction, right? Manifestation. What are some other things that you can think of that are some phrases or beliefs that they have? They're not getting results because of what? They have blocks. Their beliefs subconsciously are stopping them, right? All right. So don't let me do it all alone. You guys have been doing it for a while. Okay, what?
Self-sabotage.
Okay, self-sabotage. Perfect. Okay. Transformation. If I'm looking at you, it doesn't mean that you have to answer, but just don't make eye contact when I do that. All right. So just think about it for a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do for those, especially if you've been here longer than 3 weeks, I mean, you should be able to come up with a list of at least 10, 15, if not. Okay. So let's just take a few minutes to do that. So I'll just give you like 2 minutes, and then we'll move on. But 2 minutes to write down in this box, what are their beliefs? Your ideal prospect, your perfect candidate for you to talk to. Fill in that box. What are the words or beliefs they will resonate with? And as you guys are doing that, I'll just kind of talk. There's that kind of good, better, and best. So somebody who believes in the law of attraction, if you say the word like breakthrough or personal development, those are good words, right? They'll kind of resonate with it, but probably not the level as manifestation or subconscious blocks, right? So again, there's always that scale, good, better, and best, and you always want to use the best stuff throughout the whole presentation that you give somebody. So what words or beliefs will they resonate with? So while you're doing this, again, I'm just going to talk over why you're doing it, is you want to be able to answer the questions they have in their minds, right? And that's going to play kind of a role as we go through this whole process. Remember I talked about crystal ball being a mind reader? So that's what we're really going to do as we go through this. I'll give you guys 1 more minute there. So what words or beliefs will they resonate with? All right, 30 seconds, and then I'll just ask, you can raise your hand, but let's have at least 4 people. Even if it's been said already, I'm okay with it. Just, we'll have about 4 or 5 people just share the answers. Again, words or beliefs that the people that you call on, the leads that you call on, will resonate with. Okay? All right, let's jump into it. So just raise your hand if you want to share a few.
I want change.
Okay.
I don't know how to get it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, change. Absolutely. Okay. What else?
Potential.
Potential. Okay.
Clearing.
Okay, clearing. And out of all those are all good, but I'll tell you that's probably, like you said, good, better, and best, right? Clearing, right? Clarity. That's going to be, again, good, better, best. No, those aren't wrong answers, just good, better, and best. I want you guys to think about that, kind of that hierarchy, okay? Tim? Conditioning. Okay. Energy. Really good one. Really good one, right? Everything is energy, and that's what they're going to agree to, right? Okay, what else? Frequency. Okay. Intentions. Sweet. So we can go on probably for a little while, right, about that? Okay, so great. All great answers, okay? But again, I want you to always kind of file it in your mind. Is that good, better, or is that best, right? And don't stop until you found the best thing, right? Okay, so the next question, because I always want to dive a little deeper. Why? So why do they resonate with those words? So I want you to write that down. Why they resonate with those words. right? Our beliefs, our philosophies, that's our operating system, right? So if you're matching up with their beliefs, right, their operating system is making, it's just like two magnets, right? Reverse it, it goes the other way. If you put it the right way, it sticks together, okay? So why do they have those beliefs? Why do they resonate with those words? You don't have to answer that, but just think about that for a second, okay? Because you always want to dive a little deeper, right? Answer that question, why? So for example, if someone tells me that they want to clear their self-limiting beliefs, and I say, okay, but then I ask them why, do you think I'm going to get a better answer? Absolutely. All right, why? Okay, on to the next thing. So again, now you're going to do another box. But this time, I want you to answer this question. What outcome do they want? What's the pleasure? What's the experience that they want? Again, I'll just talk over you guys as you guys are doing this, because I want you to keep this concept in mind. You always want to be the flower, not the bee. Does that make sense to you guys, what that means? What's the difference between the flower and the bee? Besides one's a flower, one's an insect. What's the difference between the two?
Well, the bee goes to the flower. The flower doesn't go to the bee.
There you go. Okay. So when I shared that thing at the 25K group, right, and they started coming to me, we ended up getting about 12 little cards. Hey, I want to work with you. In fact, we ended up taking Brian Tracy to his hotel, and I gave him the front seat, and we're kind of just talking all the way there. And when I get out, it was really a pleasure meeting you. I really appreciate it, and I really want to work with you. And then gave me a hug. It was really cool. I was like, wow, this day couldn't get better, So again, be the flower, right, not the bee, right? All right, I'll give you another minute or so to finish this. So what outcome do they want? What's the pleasure? What's the experience that they want to have? All right, and just to do a check that everyone has something, again, even if it's you're saying the same thing as someone else, I'm okay with it. But let's just go around the room with one thing that you wrote as far as the outcome, the pleasure, the experience that they want. And Tim, we'll start with you.
Clarity.
Perfect. Okay. Brittany?
Financial freedom.
Financial freedom. Okay.
Security.
Security. All
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Success.
Success? Okay.
They want to work.
Okay. Yeah, they want results, right? But what results do they want, right? So what does that success mean? So we want to drill a little deeper, but good answer. Again, just something I want you to think about. Josh?
Happiness.
It's pretty good for zoning out, dude.
Self-empowerment.
Okay. Okay.
I want to alleviate their pain.
Okay. We're going to talk about that next. Perfect. Triton?
Contentment.
Contentment. Okay. Cleve?
Joy.
Okay. Who? Doctor?
All above.
What?
All above. Everything.
All the above? Okay. That's a good way to get out of that answer, but it works. Okay. I'll take, just because you're a doctor, I'll take that.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem? Okay.
Love.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So again, all great answers, right? Again, so kind of log to what's good, better, and best. Right? Because I think a lot of these, unless it's very specific, right? For example, success, not a wrong answer, but what does that mean to that person? Right? Success could be to be home more with their family. Right? Success could be, reaching some financial goal because that's going to give them peace of mind. Right? Again, we kind of play this game with it of, okay, what's kind of good, better, and best? Now, like always, we want to drill down, so we're going to ask why. Why do they want those things? Again, it's always going to come back to just like what Bill Gates said, and I said use that quote from Bill Gates. I am results oriented. That's what they want, is results, Pete.
After they tell you why, if they can verbalize it, ask them what that would mean to them or how would it feel.
Okay. Yeah, you can always dig a little deeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Force them to imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all this is, and again, this is going to be future trainings. It really just comes down to their belief. Because it doesn't matter what you say, it's what they say. All right? So sales is a transference of feeling, right? But you don't know what they're feeling unless you can hear it in their voice, in the words they're using. You know, again, are they in it? Do you have them? Again, are they attracted to what you have to say? Is it going to benefit them? Right? Are you able to, again, answer the questions they have in their mind? This is not going to work. How much is this going to be? This guy doesn't even care about me. This, whatever. You know, I've done 10 other courses and none of them worked. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay? All right, the next thing.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
I think there's a need has to be greater than there's wants.
Duly noted. Thank you. No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. And thing with selling, you really want to turn their wants into needs. Needs don't need to be sold. Wants do, right? And so if you take them through that process, all of a sudden, this is where you make price a non-issue. And again, this is a whole other training on this, but is turning their wants into a need. And what I mean is they justify. They don't need. They're sold. It doesn't something. Nothing else matters except I need that, right? So you're right. Okay. The next thing is, what is their current or future frustrations? What's their pain? Obviously, pain now is a lot more important than in the future, but it matters because it all depends on where they're at, right? So, for example, if somebody who has pain of worried about not having a retirement in 10 years, 15 years, versus somebody who's retiring in a month and they don't have enough retirement, a little bit more palatable, a little bit more urgent in wanting to change their situation. So that's the next thing you're going to write down. So again, make a little box. What are their frustrations, concerns, pain that they suffer from? And also, I'll do another training. I'm going to have to break it up, but it's basically how to 10 ways to create 10 times the value in every sales presentation. So there's these 10 things I'm going to go over. I'm going to break down and explain the psychology of it and why it's needed to create urgency and make the sale happen. So get away from sales fatigue and create urgency for them to get started. And again, not making price a non-issue, basically. Okay? So go ahead and we'll take just a few more minutes here. What are their frustrations, concerns, and pain? Let's give everyone about another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll actually talk about just the things that you wrote down as far as their pain. And again, what's so interesting about this process that we're going through, right? When you're ready, you don't have to get ready. This allows you, when you have an avatar of somebody, again, it creates your message. It's the foundation of your message, things you will share, things that you won't share, things that are going to be most meaningful, especially in the beginning. Right? You have to not only get their attention, but you have to get them to buy into what you're saying. Say, you know what, I need that. All right, so what are some things that you guys wrote down as far as their frustrations or concerns and pain that they're experiencing right now?
Not enough money.
Not enough money, okay.
Not good enough.
Okay,
They don't deserve it.
okay, good. All those things, right? Okay, what else?
I'm stuck,
Stuck,
held back.
okay.
It doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, doubts, right? So what do these frustrations or pain, how do they manifest in their life? What are they saying to you when they say that? Self-doubt.
I can't do that. I can't afford it.
And again, a whole nother training, rebuttals, overcoming objections, right? Because there's conditions and then there's objections, right? And you got to know the difference between the two.
No income, no saving, no retirement. It's most of the people, there's pain.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You know, and some is because of the relationship. Maybe they are going through the divorce.
See, that's another thing I was waiting on is the relationship, right? The pain, yeah. Is that you don't have a good relationship with your kids, or there's somebody you're estranged from.
Or health issue.
Health issues, right? That's a big thing.
Energy.
Huh?
Not enough energy.
Perfect. Yeah, just when they're just getting beat up by or did you guys hear this? I don't have time. That's one of the easiest things to overcome. But if they say it, I don't even have time. Right? Because what are the commitments? Is that 5 to 10 hours a week, right? I don't know if I can do that. Right? And I just got to fight the urge of overcome the objection and that, but so I'll bite my tongue. But okay. So again, it goes back to the why. Right? Why are they in that situation? The next thing I want you to write down, and again, these are just things that you've heard when you interact with people. So again, this has to be real world, right? Even if you had 2 calls, 3 calls, right? You're going to kind of hear the same thing over and over again. But what's worked for them in the past? What hasn't worked for them? And going back to why it worked or why it didn't. How many people do you talk to that say, "Oh, I've already done coaching"? Right? How do you show the difference between us and them? All right? Again, there's a lot of answers doing that, but just something I want you guys to think about. What have they done? Because I'll tell you, those little things in their mind, if you don't get them to bring it out by your questions and getting the right answer, digging a little deeper, that will come back to put them in a position to not benefit from your offering because they're assuming something. Right? No assumptions. On your side or their side, no assumptions. Right? Very clear. So what has worked for them, what hasn't, and why? So just give you a little preview here. If I have somebody that said, "Well, yeah, I've done coaching before, and you know what? They held me accountable. It was really, really good. Because I knew I had that call, and they held me accountable, so I made sure I did the best that I could. The problem was I still couldn't get myself to do the things, and so sometimes I showed up and kind of had an excuse why I didn't succeed, right? And then knowing what we provide here, I'd say something to the effect of, okay, so was that one-on-one coaching? And was that somebody who had the track record that we do? Well, no. I go, well, you got to be fair to yourself, right? Did they really address your beliefs subconsciously and resolve them? Or are we doing more of the conscious level thing where we just kind of get you past it, will you past it, right? Make you feel better for a time. Is that what happened? Yeah, you know what? Actually, you're right. That's exactly what happened. Wow. Right? All of a sudden, I'm a mind reader, right? But at the same time, I'm giving them the benefits, right? And something just to think about. And I tell my team this all the time, but when people buy a drill, they don't buy the drill, they buy the hole. Right? So they're not buying the coach just to have somebody to talk to. They're investing in a result that coach can help them create. And if you can't show the difference between something they've done before that hasn't worked, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I spoke to one lady yesterday. She said that she knew everything, and she was the coach.
Perfect.
And I said, my goodness, you must be making a lot of money. How much are you making? $1,000 a month. And I said, well, if you are the coach,
yeah,
and you make $1,000 a month, how many students do you have? None right now. She started with 8 or 9 people, and now she doesn't have any.
So perfect.
And I said, do you know why? I asked him to tell me why.
Yep.
And I let them to tell me, say, I don't know why.
Exactly. They're basically making the case why they need a coach, right? And what's great about that, because we talked to a lot of people that are coaches, so the thing I love to say, perfect. So you advocate coaching, and you know how important it is, don't you?
It's almost like it's
Right? So do you have a coach yourself? Right? Do you have a coach yourself?
Well, I asked her that
Yeah.
too. And I said, why are you still only making $1,000 a month instead of, she said that she wanted to make $1 million.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you are here right now and there, and do you know why?
Yeah.
And I want her to say, I don't know. And that is the key. If they don't know, they don't know what they need
Right.
help. And so that's what we are here to help.
All right. Perfect. Well, we'll just do it for you can just cut it out, but thanks for sharing that. Because that's exactly what we've been talking about this whole time, right? Is diving deep, right? All right. So this is one of the most important part of this training. Kind of everything we've done is led up to this point right now, okay? So same thing here. You're gonna write a little box, but this is what you're gonna answer. And you need to have at least 5 solid answers here that answer this question. What does your offer provide or solve for them? And then after every answer, you're gonna answer the question, why does that solve them? And it's nice because we're just kind of talking about that, right? Getting into more specifics, showing the difference. So what does your offer provide or solve for them, and why? Okay, I'll give you another, what do you guys think, about 2 minutes? Because I know this is a little bit more in depth. So raise your hand if you're done. If you have five ways of helping them solve the problem, you're good? Okay. All right, so why don't we start with you, Penny? You said you have five things, so just share them with me, and then Rob, if you'll share yours. Because again, this is something that the group's going to benefit from, because I'm sure they're going to have a lot of the same answers, or maybe they don't have that answer. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. So what are the 5 ways that you solve their problem that your product and offer provides?
One of them is to find out that what it is block what holding back.
Okay.
Because that is very important, because if you don't know why, if you don't know the reason, you see, they say, I don't know. That's why we are here, to help them to find out why that holding back. And if they don't know, that's great.
Right.
If you don't know, that's what we are here for.
There's another side, because some people do know, because it's my upbringing, the different things, but it goes back to what you just said. It really takes care of everything, saying, but you haven't been able to, you might have identified it, but you haven't resolved it.
Well,
right? So either or, right?
They are not transformed to where they are right now. It's knowing, it's only the information. But
Yep.
you need to take the action.
That's why we're talking about solutions,
Yes.
right? Because that's just the problem. Some people do know the problem, where it's coming from. Some people don't. Either way, it's fine, right? It's about the solution, providing the solution. Okay. So basically, our coaches, and the solution that we can provide in this setting for what we do here, is a coach will identify what your emotional connection is on that deep level, right? That's creating that result that's unwanted, right? Okay, good answer. Rob, what's one of yours?
Plan.
Okay. So kind of tell us a little bit about how we can help them with the plan.
A lot of the people that we talk to have tried a lot of different things, and they kind of take a piece from here and a piece from there, but it's just kind of clustered as far as they don't really stay committed to any one specific thing. So we hold them accountable and then tell them exactly what they are supposed to be doing to get results as quickly as possible.
Okay, yeah, a specific plan, right? This is what's going to work best for you. This is the best way to go about doing it. And then, like you said, the accountability, right? All that along the way. But yeah, so there's kind of no guessing. Like, let me try this and see if it works. Let me try this and see if it works. No, this is what we're going to work with you on. Okay, cool. Good answer. Anyone else that wants to share? An answer? Oh, yeah.
But he added that.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Customization.
Okay.
You know, one of the biggest problems that people we work with have is that they've tried something that hasn't worked. And so the fact that the coach can work with them to help them to identify what does work.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So again, kind of going, let's say somebody has said, you know, I've done group coaching before. And I'll say, great, you know, there's some things in a group they're probably not comfortable sharing. If you start digging deep enough, something that's happening really, really deep in a group, you might not be too comfortable sharing that, and that's less time for you. You know, I kind of like using the Benihana example. You know, when you order shrimp, like everyone around the table gets a piece of your shrimp, and you end up with 5 pieces instead of 8 because they're smashing it, and then that guy catches it. That guy, you're like, dude, that's my shrimp. That's my shrimp. That's my shrimp. Right? So again, yeah, you're right. It has to be customized, right, to the individual, right? And that's another thing that's different than group or individualized or one-on-one coaching, right? So again, these are all answers to the questions that we're talking about. Okay, good one. Anyone else before we move on?
I think the support and motivation is very
Okay.
important in this part.
Okay, so how is that going to solve their pain or be in line with their beliefs and solve the problem they might have, like what you've heard, like a bad relationship? Let's use that as an example. How is it going to help them?
Well, sometimes people they blame on themselves.
Okay.
It's me. But maybe it's not just only themselves, because we always had thinking about maybe it's I'm not good enough, doubt, and then fear.
Okay.
Then come with the when you had a support system, like we had a group training or something like that, they can learn from each other to see that, I'm not the only one that are going through that. And the support system, when you have the seasoned person like our coach to guide them and direct them to overcome that is very, very important, because sometimes you don't know how to go over your problem. We would say, read the scripture, pray, do this, do that. But what is the really action that we need to take? So the support system and motivation is very important. When you have people, they motivate you and give you a lift and to overcome your weakness, and use that to put the strength and to move into a future, say.
Okay.
How you
can feel a difference. I mean, the people we surround ourselves are going to make all the difference in our results.
Yeah,
right?
The energy is very important. Instead of focus on your weakness, and now you can transform that to a positive thing.
So completely different sides of the spectrum, right? Negative, fear, can't do it, stuck, to transformation, empowered, getting results, right?
You cannot change somebody else, but you can change yourself.
Right. And when you change yourself, you can change other people,
Exactly.
right? So, okay, so just something to think about here. Now that we've done that, tell us about the avatar, the person that you talk to, that if, again, you just picked up the phone and said a few words, right? They said hello, and say, let me just guess what your beliefs are, the things that you're struggling with, and what you need. Okay, little crystal ball. So after going through this training, who wants to give a stab at it?
What are you asking for again?
So I'm asking just for the avatar. So the whole reason for this is, if you can, and you missed the very beginning, so I'll just go, no, you're good, is that when you pick and you talk to somebody, you want to have something meaningful that gives value right off the bat when you talk to them. So you want to talk their language, right? You want to give them a solution, give them something, kind of that pattern interrupt where everything's going on, it's not working, and then all of a sudden they have a call from somebody that has huge value in them creating a result that they want. So that's why we went through all these things, is we want to know with the avatar, what are they deeply connected to, emotionally? What are the beliefs they have? What's the outcome that they want? What's the frustration they deal with? What's worked for them in the past? What hasn't? And how do we, the reason for your offer, how does it solve all those things? Right? Let's go for it, Trent.
My name is Charles Oliver, and he's 42 years old.
Okay.
And he is in.
So just so you guys don't know what he's doing, basically he's actually taking the avatar and bringing it down to, really narrowing it down. So just so you guys don't know, he's like, who's Mr. Oliver? It's okay. You're good.
He's a professional, and he makes his living as a manager of other people, and it has been on both sides, in terms of he's come to a point in his life where some things that he's getting aren't exactly what he wants. He's blocked in time, money. Mostly the whole thing for them is the frustration of feeling like there's something better for them out there than what they're doing now, and not knowing exactly what that is, but knowing that there's a higher self that they have, that he has, and he wants to become that and be able to help others and himself become that. So
Okay.
that's that's on one side. Then I have a female one that are built when I'm talking to. That's who I'm talking to, because they're everybody that we talk to specifically that has this specific problem that we can help you overcome, which is eliminate the limiting beliefs and blocks on the subconscious level, and be able to have a greater energy and confidence and belief system that now supports you. And when you have that, everything else moves out of your way.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks for sharing that. So obviously you can tell he's taking some time, right, doing other things of creating an avatar, right? So basically the avatar for law of attraction, I think we can all agree, is they believe in the law of attraction, right? Cause and effect. They know that they're responsible for everything that they're experiencing, good or bad. They know something's stopping from them experiencing the things that they really want. Some of them, more often than not, have one area of life that they're doing really, really well. Let's say it's health. Let's say it's relationships. But maybe one or two areas, financial or health, maybe they're not doing so well. They know they have blocks, so they want to identify what they are and get rid of them. That's what they've been trying to do this whole time. Right? And when they tell you, I've done a home study course, I've done low-level coaching, I've read the book 20 times, right? You can very clearly explain to them, because you offer coaching. The reason that you're stuck is because somebody hasn't identified that. You haven't been held accountable of doing best practices and using the most effective clearing techniques that would help you feel different, act different from your highest self, and be fully empowered to accomplish the things that you really want.
I can help you understand why.
Yeah. All right, so let's do some question and answer, because I got about 5 minutes here about just creating the avatar. So questions, and then we'll wrap up the training. Does everyone just raise your hand if you're a lot more clear about the kind of people that you talk to and what they want? So you're not more clear about it?
I'm brand new.
I know, but this should be real helpful for you. So an avatar, if we're doing personal development based off what we talked about, so explain to me what you're not clear on and what they're trying to accomplish.
A little bit of everything. I'm not completely sure. Is it just simply I just don't get the gist of it, I guess.
Okay, so that's good. That's why you're here. Okay, and obviously as you start getting experience, you'll learn all these things. So it's good. So again, the whole point is, what's the kind of person I'm going to talk to? So 9 times out of 10, what are their beliefs? What are they dealing with? Right? How can I talk and give value to them right now? Right? If you see somebody who's pulled over and the tire's flat, chances are if you pulled up and said, "Hey, I got a little little jack here for you, and I got a new tire, exactly same size. Do you think they're going to want that tire? Chances are, right? 9 times out of 10, right? Okay, if not 100 times out of 10. I know I've been broke down. I took my trip to California and had to blow out down and on the way back up. So I'll tell you, price was a non-issue when I had a guy come out to fix my tire, especially after calling 10 guys, and I'm like 30 miles north of Vegas. And everyone else thought, no, we won't do that. We won't do that. Then finally get hold of some guy. Yeah, I'll come out there, but it's going to take me 45 minutes. I'm like, hey, I'll wait here, and I'm not going anywhere. I don't care what you're charging. Get out here and get this done. Got 7 kids in the car. So Avatar is just getting a very clear understanding of what your ideal person is, right? Because there's another thing is, and we can kind of reverse this a little bit, we don't want everybody in the program, right? There's people that might believe in the law of attraction, but they're not ready for a coach. I can do this on my own. I don't need a coach. Are you kidding me? And they're like stuck with that conviction. Again, you can be good at what you do and maybe, turn it around. But you also need to know that you need to value your time. And that's what this is all about, is really understanding, having a clear message to the right person. They'll raise their hand. Yes, this is exactly what I need. I have been struggling for 30 years and I can't take another day. I'm going to go crazy if I don't understand what's getting in my way. And I need to get rid of it. Right? Think about how much value you bring to somebody's life. They've been struggling with something. Getting results that make them sad, make them cry, keep them up at night. And you're giving them a solution to solve that and fix it. Right? In sales, we're agents of change. It's an amazing, and I think it's, I don't think salespeople are born. They're created, but I think it's a calling in a way that you can help people. I want you to think about in your life, because everyone has at least 1 or 2 things in their life where they really wanted something in their life, but the salesperson they talked to sucked, or wasn't good, or was too worried about themselves and not really taking the time to understand your situation and then get you to change your perception about things and prove to you can actually become the happier, more successful version of yourself. Right? Well, let's have that one person in our life that if they would have been better salespeople, we'd be better off. And that's something that we need to do. And that's why this is understanding and putting the time into this is so important. Again, you want to have a message that resonates right off the bat. And if you guys don't have any more questions, then I'm good. And thanks for being here at the training.